This Prelude is the topic of today's video. I'm going to be just starting the body work on it. I don't really have a good name. That's what I'm doing. We're gonna take off some stuff like the windshield banner, the roof wrap, the vinyl wrap that's overlaying the already clear coat peeling roof. I'm just gonna start plugging away at it, guys, and we're gonna slowly but surely change this car. And I don't know entirely what it's gonna look like yet when it's done, but I'm gonna start. You know, this banner has been on here for years. The windshield wipers have just been slowly chipping away all of it, and it's got a crack or a rip here in it, so it'd be nice if I can get this in one full piece. So that's, wow. It shows how dirty the car is at the moment. This roof wrap, so I think it might be as old as that windshield banner. I think I put it on about the same time, if not the same day. It's also just hiding more imperfections. So in order to clean up the imperfections, we gotta take off the roof wrap. And it's not really doing it justice anymore anyways. It's tough because there's a lot of work putting this on. Dave and I probably worked on it for like 4 hours, I would guess. Here's what the roof looks like after peeling the vinyl wrap off. Obvious clear coat failure, but looks terrible either way. So the other thing is it's uncovering this rust that was on the sunroof. So glad to be doing this. It's definitely gonna take a lot of work, but it's worth it. Every time this car sits in the driveway and it rains, and it's been raining heavily, this mud just gets coated all over the bottom end of the car. So I'm just gonna start here, and I'm an amateur at this, so I've no idea really what I'm doing, but I have a goal, which is to get rid of the rust, and I'm just gonna start working towards that. Janky setup here. I just don't have a workbench or sawhorses to basically create one. So anyways, making this work, you can see some rust there right along the fender's edge. So I'm gonna basically be sanding back all of that rust, probably a good ways up to maybe here, and then down to probably bare metal, make sure we get all of it off, and then we'll hit it with primer. And my thought is to at least get the rust off while the panel's off, hit the spots where the rust was with primer, and then I'm gonna put the panel back on the car and do most of the panel sanding while it's on the car. That way it's just easier instead of using this bucket to try and hold it in place. I'm gonna sand the whole panel while it's on the car. Here's how the panel came out. Tried to get as much rust off as possible. I think I've got like 99% of it off. Here's the back side of the panel. Again, tried to get as much rust as possible off, and I'm gonna stop there for the day, and I'm gonna hit it with some primer and seal it up so that way it doesn't gather any more surface rust while it's sitting out here. With the front of the Prelude jacked up, I'm going to unscrew the side skirt extensions off of both sides. That will just give me a clear vision of what's underneath it. If there's any rust that I need to take care of, you know, it's just gonna be good to have these off and out of the way while I'm doing the rest of this work. Plus, they really need to be repainted and fixed up before I put them back on. With the fender back on the car, I've only used like 3 bolts, one here, one up here, and one down there, just to hold it really nice and sturdy in place. I'm going to hit the entire panel with 400 grit sandpaper. I'm gonna wet sand it, make sure I get this pinstripe off, and get it just down so that way I can, not down to metal, I'm just scuffing it up so that way I can throw primer over the entire panel, which will, one, just seal everything in that I've done so far, but also it's gonna showcase dents and dings a little bit easier, so that way down the road after I'm done fixing the rust, I can go back and fix and Bondo fill some of the dents and dings, and that will be a little bit easier just to spot them. So we're making some really good progress here on the Prelude. I'm stoked to be getting rid of this rust. There's more than I thought to be expected, but we're tackling it panel by panel. Here's the fender after 400 grit across everything. I tried to take all the gloss out of it so that way the primer has something to stick to. The first panel of the Prelude is totally covered in primer now. I've gone ahead and addressed the rust on the panel. I've left the dimples, the scratches. I'm gonna worry about that later. The main concern here was eliminating rust. So that's my goal. So I'm gonna eliminate the rust on each panel around the car. I'm gonna come back with body filler after all the rust is gone, fill the dimples, fill the scratches, and then we'll talk about maybe painting the car with some base coat. This is just the first panel. All the other panels, it's just rinse, repeat. So I hope you guys are getting something out of this video and look forward to seeing the transformation of this 3rd gen Prelude as much as I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Keep elevating. Adios.